Gojo Satoru was born as the pinnacle of strength in the jutsu world. Even as a child, he had no equals. No one could stand with him, only behind him. From the moment he was born, Gojo represented what it truly meant to be the strongest. But that raises a question. What does the strongest actually mean? Is it willpower? Is it the motivation to keep going after you've lost everything? In Jutsu society, the answer is far simpler and far colder. Being the strongest means power. How refined is your curse technique? How many curses can you kill? Do you have domain expansion? How much destruction can you reflect onto others? By those standards, Gojo Satoru stands uncontested. Yet despite all that strength, he has nothing to show for it. And this isn't me dunking on Gojo for his failures during the series, but we have to realize that Gojo's life was twisted from the start. He shows that being born into greatness does not guarantee fulfillment. He was coddled by the Gojo clan, treated less like a person and more like a symbol, a showcase, a weapon waiting to be pointed. I mean, after all, he inherited the Limitless and the Sixth Eye, something that is seen so rarely in the Gojo clan. But ironically, despite all that strength, the first time Gojo ever felt valued wasn't because of his power, it was because of his peers, or rather, his peer, Suguru Geto. Geto was the only person Gojo considered his equal, the only one who could understand what it meant to live as Satoru Gojo. Day after day, both burdened by impossible expectations. For the first time, Gojo wasn't alone. And then it all shattered, when Geto and Gojo were sent to protect Riku Amanai. But unfortunately, she was murdered by one Toji Fushiguro. And that moment changed everything. Riku's death changed Gojo, because Gojo saw himself in Riku. Riku was born with her fate already decided. From the moment she was born, her life had a purpose, chosen by others. This, of course, was to be assimilated into Tengen and become the next Star Plasma Vessel. And yet she spent her entire life trying to defy it. She wanted to be normal. She wanted to live. She wanted to choose her own future. But by the time she meets Gojo in the Hidden Inventory arc, Riku had already come to terms with her fate. Not because she accepted it, but because she believed her choice still mattered. Now, this is, of course, referring to when Gojo first meets Riku, and she goes on this whole speech about how her and Tengen are one, and that Tengen's becoming her, she's not becoming Tengen. It's her accepting what her fate is. She's accepted what's going to happen. And Gojo did the same thing. He spent his entire life trying to defy the path chosen for him by the Gojo clan. Trying to be more than just the strongest. Trying to be a person. And in the end, he became exactly what they wanted anyway. Not because he gave up, but because the world left him no other option. After the Hidden Inventory arc, Gojo became the undisputed strongest sorcerer of the modern era. Limitless perfected, Six Eyes awakened, the strongest domain expansion ever seen. He had reached his peak. And at the same time, he lost the one person who truly understood him. Geto fell into madness. His worldview was twisted into one of mass extermination, where sorcerers were seen as the problem. The last thing Geto ever asked Gojo was this: are you Satoru Gojo because you're the strongest? Or are you the strongest because you're Satoru Gojo? For most of his life, Gojo believed the answer was simple. He believed he was Satoru Gojo because he was the strongest. His strength defined his position in Jutsu society. It shaped how others saw him, and how he saw himself. Everything Gojo did, he did with his strength in mind. His worldview was built around it. His identity was inseparable from it. And that belief isolated him. Because when strength defines who you are, you stop being a person. You become a role the world refuses to let you escape. Gojo survived, but survival came at a cost. Everyone Gojo allowed close to him either died or was lost. Riku died. Geto became a rogue sorcerer. Shoko fell into depression and smoking. Jujutsu society retreated behind politics and fear. So Gojo did the only thing he knew how to do. He isolated himself. And his isolation is written directly into his power by Gege. His curse technique, as we all know, is limitless. An infinite barrier between himself and the world. You physically cannot approach him. You can never truly reach him. Gojo's untouchable. Not just in a battle, but in life. To Jutsu society, Gojo stopped being a person. He became a weapon. Used at the convenience of the higher-ups. Deployed to keep the world from collapsing. Because of the life he lived, because of the way others relied on him, Gojo came to see himself as the sole thing standing between order and absolute chaos. And that belief is crushing. Eventually, Gojo was forced to kill his best friend, Geto. And in doing so, he realized something terrifying. Even infinity has limits. He can't protect everyone forever. He can't stop the world. He can't stop the world from collapsing on itself alone. So Gojo made a choice. Not to rule, not to dominate, but to teach. He trains a new generation, not to surpass them in power, but to ensure the world no longer needs a single strongest sorcerer. Because true strength was never about standing above everyone else. It's about making sure no one has to stand alone. And this is where Gojo truly changes. Because Gojo Satoru embodies loneliness. You could even say he was cursed with it. His curse technique literally creates an infinite barrier between himself and the rest of the world. No matter how close someone tries to get to him, they can never truly reach him. And this domain expansion makes it even clearer. An unlimited void is Gojo's only world. An infinite space of knowledge where everyone else is completely paralyzed by the technique. Everyone except Gojo. He alone can move freely inside his own infinity. Even at the height of his power, even within his own domain, Gojo stands alone. During the Shibuya incident, Gojo is sealed inside the prison realm. For the first time, the strongest sorcerer is completely removed from the world. Yet he isn't afraid. He isn't panicking. He isn't desperate to escape. Gojo trusts his students. He knows they'll do the right thing. He knows they're strong, and he believes they'll eventually free him. This matters because a younger Gojo would have reacted in a much different way. The Gojo of the past would have lost himself, worrying about what's happening without him. Worrying about what he wasn't doing, about the world that was moving without him. But the Gojo of today has let go of that fear. The fear of needing to be a pillar holding everything together. For the first time, Satoru Gojo allows himself to not be the strongest thing in the room. And that is real growth. I'm not going to go into Shinjuku for spoiler reasons, but that arc completes Gojo's character in a way that feels deliberate, earned, and honestly masterful, if I'm be honest. Because Gojo's story was never about power. It was about learning to let go. I'm Sora Nova, and thank you guys for watching.